What's up, everybody? This is Martin PK.
It is Byron Cage.
Pastor Helen Yorson.
I'm Todd Delaney.
I'm Dora Zombambo, and you're watching
Ec12one TV.
Preaching Christ through entertainment.
You make Christianity so much fun.
Stay tuned.
Hey guys, welcome to Ec12one TV. My name is Jones. I am so excited to see you once again. Over the past weeks, we've been coming your way with wonderful and excellent exclusives right here on Ec12one TV. I hope you are doing good, and I believe that you are still observing all the necessary protocols with regards to COVID-19. That is, wash your hands under running water, apply hand sanitizers where you don't have running water and soap, and also make sure you have your face mask or your nose mask. Mine is right here, only that's in my pocket. So for the purpose of this interview, yes, it's right here, but in order to make things very clear for you, let me just put it aside. Right after this interview, I am going to wear it. All right, so over the past weeks, we've had interesting sessions with Pastor Kwesi Oting. We've also had very nice exclusive with MOG. They made very interesting revelations, and I believe we all learned from that. Today, we are traveling all the way to Nigeria. Yes, Folabi Nuel is going to be our guest for today. I'm highly excited because we are traveling beyond the borders of Ghana, and I'm really, really excited to have Folabi Nuel joining us in the studio. He's one of the highly rated gospel ministers in Nigeria, Africa, and the world at large. And I'm excited. I've seen some people joining me here. I can see Nana Joa. Hello. Shiburaba is also here. Okay. Mary Magdalene. Nanama. Hello, Nanama. I see you too. Today we're going to have a nice time. Now, the interesting part of this IG Live is that it's not about just joining the feed and learning or being entertained. You also get to win airtime. Isn't that amazing from Ec12one TV? We are the first, to be doing this when it comes to the giveaways. And so make sure you stay tuned and you join us till the end of the exclusive interview with Folabi Nuel, and you get to stand the chance of winning a lot of prizes. So stay tuned and let me see if I can. We are going to have Folabi Nuel to join us. So while we wait for him, I don't know whether I don't know how well you know Folabi Nuel, but his song Yeshua, Charlie, it really touches my heart. It really, really touches my heart. Yeshua, when we call you, you will answer. Yeshua, when we call you, you deliver. There's no name greater than you. That song. There's no name greater than yours. All right, so that's him. That's the man. He has a lot of exciting songs, amazing songs that ministers to the heart. Today he'll join us, and we are going to talk extensively, getting to know him right from Pastor Charlie, I need to sing a small one. Some voice, so yeah, Charlie. Folabi Nuel. Folabi Nuel, he's the cause of it. Let me see if I can get him to join us. If I can get him, it's exactly 6 o'clock, so I'm sure that he's preparing to join us. But let me remind you again that if you've come here alone, make sure you share the link with other friends. It's Ec12one TV across all platforms. So call a friend and ask them to join today's session, because it's going to be exciting. And there are lots of giveaways that I'm going to give. Now, once again, if you hang around to the end of the show, we'll be asking some few questions, about 10 questions. And whoever is able to get the answers right with the fastest finger. So one, you must get the answer right, and it must be who sent in the answer first. The first 10 people who are able to do that will go away with amazing packages. Trust me, every single one who has enjoyed these packages has given testimonies. So definitely you are not excluded. So call a friend to call a friend to call a friend, and let's join in the conversation. It is going to be super amazing. And we are still waiting for Folabi Nuel to join in the conversation. So very soon, let me see if I can find. I can see people trooping in here. I want to see more views than I can bring in. Folabi Nuel. More views. Call a friend to call a friend. Call a friend to call a friend. Don't be selfish, Don't be selfish. Let's all enjoy this. Folabi Nuel joined. I can see he's just waved. Oh, thank God. So, we're going to go into the conversation very soon, and I'm super excited. Finally, he's in. So I'm going to invite him, and then we can be on with. Nanajwa, I see you. You've been very consistent. Nanajwa, I see you. I see Pastor Ish. Makafui, shout out to all of you. Nanama, I see you too. You've been in here answering lots of questions. We are still waiting for. Very famous, Magdalene, you can worry, pa. Fortunately, Folabi Nuel is unable to join. Let me send him the request again. And let me see, probably it might be okay. He sent a request to actually join the video. Go live. Yes. So going live with Folabi Nuel. Nanama. You still want to win something today. You've been trying so hard, but Charlie, today, dear, please, I'll make sure you win something, I promise. It's not like I'm doing any kululu with Nanama, but Charlie, she's been answering some of the questions, but unfortunately, a mantem, Nanama, don't worry. Today, dear, you win some. You win some. We are still waiting for the connection with Folabi Nuel. Wow. So please send in the questions already, because I have a lot for them. Send in the questions already, and then we can ask him any question that he wants. That we actually, not any question that he wants. I mean, questions in line with the interview. Questions in line with the interview. Another request is in. Folabi. No. Okay. I think there's a problem with the link. So. Oh, Nanama, welcome.
Hi,
Folabi Nuel, finally. Good evening. How are you doing, sir?
very well, thank you. Sorry about the network. It's been really bad.
Of course, I know. How are you doing? I can barely see your face, though. I want to see.
My head's really rough, so I'm trying to like. I'm trying to cover it. Yeah.
Of course. Wow, I'm very excited seeing you this evening. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. Good evening.
Yeah, we've been waiting anxiously for you. A lot of guys are online just to hear from you.
Thank
you. Now, right. So, first we have a lot to talk about today, actually. But first, let's see how has the COVID-19 has it actually affected activities in Nigeria, especially when it comes to ministrations with churches and event wise. How has the COVID-19 impacted some of these activities? I hope you can hear me.
Can you repeat the question again?
Okay, I was saying that these are not normal times. We've been hit with a global pandemic. That is the COVID-19. Yes. Yeah. So I'm asking you for a start. How has it impacted church ministrations? How do you link up with your fans, knowing that it feels excited when you meet a crowd and you're ministering and the move of the Holy Spirit? But now we've been limited to our homes and doing Skype. And how are you able to link up with your fans and your people?
To be honest, I mean, when at the early stages, it was a bit confusing. We were wondering what's going on, what's happening. But we've learned to adapt. So, for instance, I don't think I've ever led worship on a Zoom call before until now.
Okay.
So it's adapting and understanding that, this is a new normal and we need to plug in. And I feel like it's your perspective towards it. If you see the glass as half empty or half full, will determine how you react to it. So it's a great opportunity to lead worship across, the globe. I got the opportunity to, get into Zoom calls with people in Australia or, people in the UK. And that's great. That's not what you get from a physical meeting here in Africa. So it's been an amazing, interesting experience.
Wow. Well, Minister Folabi Nuel, a lot of people are online right now watching us, and so we are just about to delve into the major issues. Now, this was just by the yes. You are one of the highly rated gospel ministers in Nigeria, Africa, and the world at large.
I'm not sure about that, but
I'm really sure. Take it from me. I'm really sure. Take it from me.
Words.
Of course. A lot of people have joined in, not only Ghanaians, but there are a lot of people who are listening into this conversation. Now, there are some section of the people that already know who Folabi Nuel is, and there are some people who are getting to know you, and there are others who do not know you at all. So then I'll come up with a question: who is Folabi Nuel?
I'm a Jesus boy. It's very obvious. Worship leader, songwriter. I think I'm just someone who is very passionate about the things of God, making Jesus famous all the way. And because I'm young, I feel like it's a huge responsibility to be a voice for my generation. So I think that's a summary.
Yeah, of course. Now, I'm sure a lot of people with the talent that you have, I'm sure, started music way back from infancy. You asked a lot of them. Of course, I started singing when I was in the primary school. Then I went to the teachers and I continued back to the university. I know you went through all those stages, but my question is, at what point in time did you decide that I want to make music a career? I mean, this is what I want to do: music, full-time music minister.
That's after uni, right after uni, actually. So I actually never thought I could do music. I led worship in the choir. I was a music director at some point, but I wanted to just do farming because I studied agriculture.
Wow.
Yeah, so I have a degree, in agriculture. So I already had my farm set up. I was ready. I had already even started farming. And, long story short, right after NYC, which is like a service thing you do in Nigeria, right? I moved back to Lagos and joined my church, started serving. And, there was this call for people who would, join in full time. And, it just became full time, I guess. So for the longest time, I really didn't think I could do it as a career, like full time and just focus on it.
Wow. All right. So before we move on to our next question, let me acknowledge some people that have joined in. There are a lot of people have joined in actually. We have Doc Titos waving. Is it simply Soa? Well, the names are quite huge, but waving back to all of you who have joined in. I'm excited you have. Now, let's get back to our chat actually, Minister Folabi.
Yeah.
Now, what pushed you into music? I mean, there must be a factor that's either a factor or a person that you saw or realized, okay, now I know I have the talent, but there's that factor that pushed you into music. What actually pushed you?
I think it's just knowing that it's a medium to speak God's truth, knowing that it's a medium to tell people about Jesus. I can, evangelize, I can talk about Jesus, I can write about him. But I realized that through feedback as well, that I could express my love for him better through music, right? So I had more, people paid more attention when I shared about Jesus through music, right? I don't know if that made sense. So music was just the best avenue to communicate my love for him. Music was just the best avenue or medium to share my love for the King,
Wow.
If I
Wow.
if I write now, maybe 200 people would read it, or if I'm lucky, 500 people. If
Wow.
I speak, it might not. Maybe now because more people know me, they might listen. But as at that time, when I sang, people paid attention, and I could express what I was feeling better through music. So I think that was the push, my love for him, and just finding out the best medium to communicate my love for him and to his people.
Wow, wow, that's great. That's great.
Yeah.
So, what was the first song or first single you released out in the market? After, okay, now I want to do music. I have to release a song. What was the first song, or what is the first song you released?
God of Heaven.
God of Heaven. God of
God
Heaven.
of Heaven. Yeah, God of Heaven.
How did that
definitely.
song? How did it do on the market? I mean, it's the first single, so I'm sure
It was really good actually. That was
Wow.
also a motivation to pursue it fully. Because I remember I used to sing it in church back in uni. So right after uni, I stayed back in the church I was serving in during my school days, and I would sing it as a worship song in church, and
Wow.
people started asking, as a worship leader, people will start asking you, please, can you send us the link to that song or the name of the person who sang that song so we can check it out? And I was telling them, oh, it's a song I wrote, it's not released yet. And people were like, oh, you need to release it. You need to share with us. So I just gathered all the money I had at the time, reached out to a producer called Wilson Joel. It was in South Africa at the time, and it was, So I reached out to him, worked on the song, and just pushed it. Like when I mean pushed, I just released it. So from the very beginning, I always knew I wanted something excellent, and I wanted to do it the right way. So I made sure the production was solid. It cost a lot of money, but it was solid. I remember I had to sell my laptop to pay for. I had to sell my laptop to pay for the production because it was expensive, but it was really good. It came out really well. So I pushed it on iTunes, pushed it on all the other platforms and just left it, and amazingly, I just got a call from a major radio station in Nigeria, Rhythm 93.7. And they were like, oh, we want to do an interview with you. We stumbled on your song. And it's currently number 1 on the charts in our radio station.
Wow, your first release.
My first release. That was the first time I would have a radio interview. That was the first time I'll be to, go to a radio station. So it was just a push, and to see, how people were responding to the song was just simply amazing and encouraging.
Wow, that's great. Yeah. Now let's take this. Now let's go this direction. You see, your style of music is a bit different, unlike the traditional Nigerian songs or worship songs. You mix Afrobeat with jazz and a bit of that. Now, at the point you were venturing into that, did you think that the Nigerian society was ready to embrace that style of music? Were you afraid that my people are used to this style of song, and now this is the style I'm bringing aboard? Were you sure that the people, Nigeria and Africa, were ready to embrace a style like that?
To be honest, I wasn't sure Nigerians were ready, but I was definitely sure what I wanted to sound like. I knew what I could hear in my heart. I knew how I wanted to express it. I knew how I wanted to do music. So some people will say it's a wrong business model to put your own needs above the people or the market. So the sound wasn't a commercial sound, so to speak. It wasn't, something that everyone would jump on or something like that. But it was what I felt in my spirit. So from the very beginning, I did music not because I wanted to blow or to be famous and popular. It was just how I felt. And that's still what I do now. Some of the songs I do, eventually became, popular and all, but from the very beginning, the motivation has always been do what you want, express it how you feel. Express it how you feel.
Wow,
Yeah, but I still get afraid sometimes. I still get afraid sometimes.
You are here to stay, definitely. I love your music. All right, so before we go on to the next session, let me Ramsey joined, Jeremiah _ Gray also joined. I can see all of you, and if you have any question if you just joined in, we are here with one sensational Nigerian gospel artist. He's making waves in Africa and the world at large. His name is Minister Folabi Nuel. I just love his song. So if you just joined in, we are having a very nice chat here, and so you can send in your questions, whatever question you want to ask Minister, just send it here, and he will gladly answer it for you. Now, let's move on to the next song. Yeshua. You know, that was how I got to know you. Yeshua is a big, it's actually a big. Now let me make this. It's a personal thing, but let me confess. I was actually on IG and I was just scrolling through, and I passed your official page, and so your song Yeshua actually it played for some few seconds. So just when I went past the post, the song hit me hard in the ears, and I had to come back and listen to it. Then I went on YouTube and I listened to Yeshua, and I was like, wow, this is a song. Then I got to know. So it's like, yeah, nobody actually mentioned your name to me. I just discovered you myself.
Can you imagine?
I just discovered you, and it was amazing. That song, Yeshua, really, really, really ministered, and it's still ministering to me now.
Thank you.
I listened to Yeshua, and I go like, Yeshua is like 5 lines.
Yeah.
Yes, you just do the first phase for me, just the first phase, and I'll ask my next question. And I'll ask my next question.
Yeshua, when we call you, you will answer.
Okay.
Yeshua, when we call you, you deliver. He said just 2 lines or 1 line, so I'm going to stop there.
Exactly. That is it.
Yeah.
So look at the lyrics of the song. What goes into the writing of your song? Because there are some songs that the lyrics are quite bulky, and there are some that the lyrics are about 3 or just 4 lines, but then they still minister to that. What goes into the writing of your songs? And do you write your own songs?
Oh yeah, I write all of my songs. A couple, I have some friends who collaborate on the writing with me, who would say, hey, I'll send them the song and be like, oh, I'm stuck here and I need help with this line, and they will help out, and that's amazing. But I mean, all of my songs, I write them myself. So, but I mean, for Yeshua, my heart, let me just tell you about Yeshua first. Okay, so I was ministering in a church, for a worship event.
That is the inspiration.
Not inspiration per se, but just how it came, right?
How it came, okay, all right.
How it came. So, I was leading worship somewhere, and we were just worshiping. It was so amazing. The name of the church is called David's Christian Center, and we were just worshiping, and literally I started to sing these words. Yeshua, when we call you, you will answer. Yeshua, when we call you, you deliver. There's no name. That was it. Right on stage. My musicians didn't know what was happening. So we had to we started to use signs to communicate the chord progressions, and it took about 5 minutes, but my musicians are really amazing. It took about 5 minutes, and they just caught on, and we sang that for a couple of minutes and just worshipped. On my way back, I forgot what I sang until luckily for us, they recorded the video and posted it on YouTube. So I was like, oh wow, this song, and I tried to sit down and add a few verses to it to make it full, let's be creative. And God just told me, this is what I want you to sing. Just sing it like this. Don't add anything to just sing it the way it is, So sometimes we have moments like that where it's just spot on. Sometimes we sit down to write the music, write the every word and all of that stuff.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
We have a lot of questions actually. So so like I said from the onset, if you just join in, we are here with Minister Folabi Nuel. And so keep your questions coming in. I see a lot of people waving here. Ola Gamile joined, CEO joined, Sosket, and a whole lot of people. I'm happy you guys have joined. So just send in your questions. Any question you want to ask, Minister Folabi will gladly answer your question for you. So now let's come to your album. How many albums have you? How many albums have you so far? How many albums?
I mean, I have two. I have an EP and I have a full-length album.
Okay.
Some of the songs from the EP were re-recorded, in the full-length album. I have a Christmas EP,
Okay.
and then I'm working on a full-length album as well, due to be released in November.
Wow.
So that's
wow.
2 albums technically and 2 EPs.
Okay. So the latest one will be released
in November. In
November.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's called Hunger Live. From that album, you have Yeshua, you have Omema, you have Satisfied, and a couple of other songs. Yeah.
Okay. But you've already released the Good God album, right?
Yes, Good God is the full-length album.
Okay, is a full-length. So let's talk about some of the artists or some of the ministers that you featured on board, actually.
Yeah.
I know Floroka was on there and some amazing artists. Yes. How did you get in touch with Floroka, and what is that relationship between yourself and Floroka?
Floroka is I know he says, oh, we are friends, but he's like a big uncle. If there's anything like that, and he's a legend. He has been around for the longest time. For Flo, I mean, if you remember, I told you about the fact that I always go for like excellence. So I remember I heard Twale, by him, and it was so crisp. It was so excellently done. And I went to his studio, spent hours, I reached out to him, sent an email, oh, I need to meet you, blah, blah, blah. And so I didn't work on any song. I just went to meet him just to have a conversation. And then that was it. 3 years later, right? 3 years later, I wanted to work on the song, and I knew that, Flo is like the one who can create that sound for me. So I went to meet him and I told him, or I found a way to get to his studio and told him, oh, this is the song I want to work on, blah, blah, blah. I feel like you're the only one that can recreate it and all of that. And we worked on the first song, amazing. It's called You Love Me, really, really amazing. And then I think a year later, I had Good God. I wrote Good God back in school, but I had it in a different way this time. And I knew that obviously Flo was the only one who could recreate it. So I went to meet Flo and told him, oh, this is the song I want to work on and all of that. And he was like, okay, let's listen. I think it's good. And we started producing. And I was done with the song. And we were just playing it back. And Flo says, this song needs something. And I'm like, okay, this. And he was like, you know what? I can hear something. I'll record it. So he recorded it to show me what to do.
Okay.
Right? But he ended up featuring on the song. So when he was done recording, it was just like, it sounds nice already, So let's just go with the flow. Yeah. So that was how Flo was. I never reached the same thing with Wole Oni as well. So I've just been, really blessed and really favored. These guys are legends. Wole Oni is a legend. Flo is a legend. And definitely. I never asked them to feature on any of the songs. They just loved it and decided to jump on it. I never told Flo, oh, I want you to feature on the song. He just heard it, wanted to show me what to do. He wanted me to add that reggae vibe to the chorus, and he ended up singing the chorus. And it sounded really, really amazing. And, I've been close to him ever since. For Wole Oni was done with the production, and he said he was just going to just add a solo performance. So he had already sent me the finished version, and then sent me another version that had the solo, that he did, and that was it. That was it.
Great, wonderful. We've been so blessed having you. We are actually going to the final part of our conversation, but there's something interesting hanging out here. After we are done with the session, if you've joined in, please stay in with the session, all right? Because we have 10 questions about Minister Folabi Nuel. And if you get the answers, if you're able to get the answers right, there's a prize for you. There's an amazing prize you're going to win. So please, if you've joined in the conversation, don't go away. You stay till the end of this wonderful and exciting and educative chat. And then at the end of it, I'll read out the questions to you. Whoever is able to get it right, we have some wonderful packages for you. So please stay in there and send your questions coming in. Call a friend to call a friend, and then to me. Now, I've watched some of your interviews, and definitely with the way you sing and with how you look like. Sometimes I was what word do I use? Let me say touched. I'd actually wanted to skip this question, but let me just bring it here. A lot of people liking your look and your voice to Travis.
I get that a lot.
A lot. Once again, the question pops up. Now, I'm not going to ask you how you feel about it because I know it sounds. I know the positive aspect of it. Now, have you had a chance to mount stage with him?
Oh yes, I have. I
have.
Amazingly, he told me the same thing. We were at Tim Godfrey's event in Abuja, Fearless, and it was like, even his musicians were like, "You sound a lot like Travis,"
A lot of the
musicians, his band guys who came with him, were like, "Oh, yes," because I went on stage, a couple of minutes before the event started, so I was like an opening act, and I said, yeah, I get that a lot. Phil Thompson also heard me sing at another event, and he was like, you remind me of someone, and I said, oh, Travis. He said, yeah, Travis. So to a large extent, I'm grateful that I can be compared to Travis is such an amazing, phenomenal worshiper, but at the same time, I feel like because there are similarities, I've always sounded like this. But because there are similarities, people would always lean towards the fact that, oh, you sound like him, but I actually sound like me, I think that there are differences with the tone, with the voicing, and all of that. But again, I'm grateful. Sometimes I used to cringe, when I see the comments on YouTube, and they just be like, "Oh, Nigeria's Travis Green," and I'm like, "No, no, I'm just
this is Nigeria's Folabi Nuel."
But I'm grateful all the same. I can't complain.
Wow. So, do you have anything with him, like any song you guys?
Oh no, maybe in the future.
But you should. I think you should.
Yeah.
It'll be.
But the problem is, they wouldn't even know who is singing. They'll just think it's one person, That's that.
I don't know who is actually singing.
They don't know who's singing. Yeah.
When I Folabi
or Travis.
The point is almost. I understand you. Well, so now, what major? Okay, fine. You've spoken about your upcoming album in November.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you hate that the Yeshua is going to be one of the songs on that album.
Yeah.
Apart from Yeshua, it's a great song. So what should we expect in total, in general, from the album that is going to be released in November? Because from now to November, it's quite some months. Right? So what exactly should we expect from? What exactly should we expect from the album?
I mean, the album, from the name. So last year I had this encounter, or this season in my life where I was just like, there's more, there are deeper realms, deeper levels. Excuse me. And so in that season, spending time with God, praying through, I always had this nudge, there's a deeper realm for you, Folabi. There are deeper levels, you know. And in that season, I started to write. If you listen to all the songs, obviously not yet though, but if you listen to the ones that we've released so far, you can sense that it's from a place of desire. From a place of wanting more. It's from a place of thirsting for more and more and more, right? So from satisfied, you see, oh, I would never be satisfied. Fill me up with your presence. To Yeshua, when we call you. So it's a consecration album. It's an album that points you to the desire of God, you know. I like how John Piper puts it. John Piper says that God is most glorified when we are most satisfied in him, right? So the album is called Hunger, From Our Hearts to Yours. You know, so it's an album that points us to Jesus. It's an album that reminds us of what's really important, you know, and which is Jesus. And I'm tempted to release it like next month, you know, considering all that's happening, you know. With all that's going on in the world and all of that, you know, and maybe just remind people of the fact that, see, in this season, I know it's chaotic, I know you're confused, but now more than ever, pressing for more of God, right? But all the same, because I have, you know, managers or the management will stick to the date. But that's what to expect, though. That's what to expect.
That's so nice. Now we are almost we are drawing curtains on our chat today, and it's actually, I'm sad because I'm really enjoying this chat. Actually.
Thank you. Maybe next time, though.
Yes. You will see. Definitely, when life returns to normal, we would love to have you in Ghana. And when you do, Ec12one TV, we're the first TV channel to actually hold an exclusive with you. We're actually going to make you sign. We're actually going to have an exclusive. We'll make you sign. So we have.
Wow.
Before we zoom into the ending part, I see Adeleke, Eswobing, Ichedire, Dashimimola all joined. And yes, invest hyphen wood. Charlie, the names are very heavy. The names are very, very the names are very heavy. Some of them are okay. So we will come to the parts where you've had people that actually have helped you in your music ministry, and as to whether you've been signed on to a record label right now. But before then, that will be the ending. That will be the ending part, and where you get to show appreciation to everybody. Now let's go on a lighter note. Now on a personal level, what has been the most difficult or challenging moments in your life? The most difficult part in your music career, where you felt like, well, I can't do music anymore. It's okay. You know, I'm tired of it.
Okay, this is very personal, but yeah, you know, having to tell the parents of the person that you are dating that you do music.
Okay.
Yeah, that's challenging. And because you do music. Really? Music? That's not a serious job. You know, that's really challenging. Having to explain, you know, so most times I just lead with, oh, you know, I'm into agriculture, and then I do music ministry on the side. So definitely, since we are I always start with agriculture, the business side. That's very challenging. Wow. That's very challenging because unfortunately, our parents still I'm thankful for my parents who now are starting to understand, you know. But if they had their way, they would still want me to, because I had to resign my job to pursue, you know, music ministry fully, and it wasn't a bad job. It was quite good, you know. So having to convince them and tell them that, oh, this is beyond the music you used to know. It's a serious thing. It's a big deal. It requires excellence, time, hard work. You know, try telling that to the parents of the person you're dating. That's a lot.
Wow. Now, before we go on to the next one, Adeleke underscore Adiete saying that your uniqueness is paying off. Yes, you are really unique.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I think your uniqueness is actually paying off. I see
Thank you.
Derek. I see as well. The dark dude is asking, how did you start with a little? With a little? Well, that question is not clear. They say, how did you start with a little? The
In terms
dark
of
dude.
fonts?
Maybe I think. Well, the message is not clear, but maybe in terms of funds, he's asking, how did you start with little? I don't know what that little.
Okay, with little. It'll be
Yeah.
great to know if it's fonts, or I'll just assume
Okay.
it's fonts.
Yeah.
I think it's so. I tell people who tell me, reach out to me and say, oh, I want to release my song, I want to do this and all that. And it's easier said than done, but I would say make sure it's as excellent as possible. Now there are ways to do excellent music with little. All you need is a sound card, your laptop, and a good mic. Not necessarily a big studio per se. There are softwares or plugins that can help you control the noise and make it come out, crisp and clear. So save up till you can do something excellent. If you're starting with covers, do covers. For covers, you can be forgiven for some things, but still make it as excellent as possible. But when you release your first song, right, make sure it's global standard. I'm grateful for this. I get comments from Brazil, New York, Mozambique, Zambia, everywhere, and they're like, oh, this is excellently done, or this blessed me. And that's because in as much as it's gospel, it's even, I feel like, because it's gospel, it has to be done excellently, because it's for the king. It's kingdom music. So if you save up for a year, don't be in a hurry to push out something. Make sure it's global standard. If you save, work hard, and all of that stuff, make sure you have what it takes to create something. And I'm not saying go out of your way in terms of like break the bank or something, but make sure it's excellently done. Make sure it's excellently done.
Wow, the dark dude, I'm sure your question has been answered. Derek Bempa says he would love to know you on a personal level. Yes. He says he would love on a personal level. So definitely. How does he get close to you on a personal level? For anyone that wants to have a personal relationship with you, is there any way the person can?
I mean, personal relationship is tricky, and I'm not even going to try to use the artist line of, oh yeah, send me an email and all of that stuff. But I mean, I'm just going to be as honest as possible. If it's on a, reaching out and just we communicating and connecting, fine. Obviously, you can send me an email, send me a direct message on Instagram and all of those places. To be honest, nowadays, although I'm offline for a couple of weeks, but honestly, nowadays, I try as much as possible to respond to every direct message or every comment, or email. Let's see if we have the same values and if we can become friends on a personal level, right?
On a personal level, okay, right. Now, so speaking of the record you're signed in, I can see a message from Show Gear Records. Show Gear Records. There's a record here saying yo Charlie, Show Gear Records. You're in the house, man. We see you. So now let's move on to the record you are signing, and then we can break this to an end. So Show Gear Records, that's where you are. Signing. Okay. That's the record label you are signing. How is it like? What went into the signing?
Trust me, Shoga is the owner of the label is very dear to my heart. So unlike what people would think, it's not your standard record label. Because I feel like the goal has always been missional. So in terms of the dealings, there's no what's it called? In some labels you have, you take 80%, this, and then they are strict on what you release. and tell you what to do and all of that. This is quite different. I think this is more ministry driven. So I get to call the shots on what music I want to release, how I want to release it, and that's very remarkable and very rare too, so they just tell me, oh, what are you thinking? How do you want to make it work? Before they even think of how the money is going to, because I am very sure that the money they've spent in this season is way, way more than has coming. And that's because I've always had this thing in my heart not to charge, and sadly, a couple of organizations take it for granted, or abuse it, sadly. So when they reach out and we say, oh, we don't charge, but we our musicians are coming, our singers are coming, we'd have to travel down. So please consider that, and whatever God lays in your heart, and some will go as low as paying the money they would eventually give us would only cater for 2 musicians and our transport back, right? So they've not stopped in spite of that, in spite of the fact that they've not received revenue, right? And that's remarkable. I've released, I'm sure the Hunger recording was recorded in 2 places. The first project, the one that was, so we have, obviously, if you know Lagos, there is the mainland and then there's the island. So we recorded on the island and we recorded on the mainland. So we have 2 recordings into one album. So there are different expressions picked from for each, for a song. Maybe there's an expression from the mainland that we want on the album, or from the island that we want on the album. So 2 projects in 1 year. I am sure, and I'm not even exaggerating, I think the project we did on the island cost us roughly close to 2 million to pull off. We had to pay the musicians, we had to pay for extra lights, we had to pay for the sound, we had to pay for so many things, right? Exactly. It's more of a ministry thing. It's not a business venture per se.
Sure. Minister, actually, we have a lot of questions to answer, but our time is really closing. But let me do this quick. Speaking about money, when you go out for events or programs, on the sad note, people do not value the Christian songs enough, and so they don't want to pay. Let me not say pay, but they don't want to appreciate your efforts for being there. Do you think moving ahead or looking at the way forward, do you think there is a future for our gospel music? I mean, for it to be valued enough, because we also use money. You just explained how you actually spend a lot of money in recording, and then you go out for events, or if there's a program, you are given very little because it is the word, or it is a gospel song. So as for gospel, it must be done for free. We have that kind of mentality. You think we can have a change of mind as time goes on, or you think this thing is actually going to kill the gospel music that we have in Africa?
First off, you can't kill it because it's God's work, right?
But it can demoralize you.
It can demoralize, we get demoralized a lot of times. We get and I'm trying to be as real as possible. We get demoralized. Imagine traveling for 3 hours with your team in your car with your fuel, and then getting there and the reception is poor, the food is bad,
So what do you think is the way forward? What you think we can have a change? What is the way forward?
I don't think it's a problem of value. I think it's a problem of knowledge and insight. So they value it. It's just that they don't feel like it should require, that how would you pay for the gospel? Some will tell you, oh, the gospel was given to us for free. So why do you want us to pay for it? Some will go
How do we change that mindset? How do we change that mindset?
I think we need to just build your community. Build your community, teach your community. Now more than ever, imagine, see, the churches are closed. So
Yeah.
in this season, as a gospel minister, you would rely solely on people who identify with you, people who
Yeah.
follow you, who appreciate your music. So
Sure.
build your community, teach them these things, be transparent, be accountable. Tell them, oh, we spent so and so making this happen, and we need your support. We need your support. It's a lot of work, it's a lot of money, it's a lot of gadgets. So it's just build your community, teach your community.
Okay, very well, Minister Folabi. So build our community and teach them to appreciate and value the gospel music that we have. Miss Bella, do want to follow him on Facebook. Yes, of course. You put out your handle out there at the end of the we are almost done, but let me shout out. Let me send some of you shout outs. Official what? Yes, definitely. Nanajwa is still online. Ejiro, Nanama Champon, Goodwill. A lot of people, but our time is fast spent. So let's go to the part. I know you have a lot of appreciation to show to your crew members, your record label, every single person that has been helpful with what you've become now and where God is taking you. So now let's show appreciation. Anybody you want to thank? Anybody you want to show appreciation to? Yeah.
I'm gonna play safe and just thank everyone. First, yeah, so because if I mention names and I miss out one name, that's gonna be tricky. So but I feel like beyond the effort of any man, God is solely to be thanked. God is, the Bible says that the watchman watch in vain if the Lord doesn't watch over the city. So God has been my sustainer. God has been the one who has linked me up with these people. He has sent me help. So first of all, I want to give him thanks. And then I want to thank everyone who has streamed, bought any of my songs, commented, followed, prayed for me, shared my music, and keep sharing my music, shown support in one way or the other. God bless you guys. You guys are amazing.
Very well, very well, very well, very well. Thank you so much for your time today. Yeah, we actually have a lot for it. But let me announce quickly that don't leave the session yet. I have questions coming up, 10 questions about Folabi Nuel. If you get the answers right, there are some special packages for you. So you all stay online. And thank you all very much for joining in. I wanted to ask him, please ask him, when will he get married? Oh boy.
Can I leave now?
Someone is asking when you get married. But anyway.
We're talking about spiritual stuff.
Yeah, of course. I love Nanajwa is saying I love your Christmas EP. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You are a great guy. A lot of people are saying Adeleke says you are a great guy. Queen, I see you too. Adeleke, keep making greatness. Come on. And a lot of comments coming here. God bless you so much.
Thank you.
Very soon we will need to hook up with you again, and then we can have an extensive version. Our time is actually
definitely.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you so much for your time.
All right.
And have a wonderful evening. Bye. Right.